Okay, so I'm going to show you how to set up a call with me. And basically, for a client to book a meeting with me, there needs to be certain criteria met. Um, all my meetings are booked through Calendly, so you can log into my Calendly account by simply making sure you're using your VPN that's US based IP address. So you make sure you have your VPN on. Then using LastPass, you should have shared access to the Zoom meeting folder, is where I've saved access to it. So you can simply continue, and with LastPass Chrome extension, it'll just auto-populate passwords and login for you. It's no problem. Okay, generally speaking, the purpose of a client meeting with me is usually it's gotten to the point. When I say gotten to the point, it means that it's usually like a serious meeting. Like I try to only have serious meetings with clients. This should involve their success. It should involve their strategy. It should involve solving big problems for them that we have not been able to solve as like a team. Okay. And it's escalated. This is an escalation. Okay. It should have already moved through the troubleshooting process. This is like the troubleshooting process needs to be verified as being done. So before you actually book this call with the client, you need to go through the troubleshooting process and verify, like, have we spoken to have all of the team members communicated about the problem that are involved with the client, including the virtual assistant, the media buyer, and the CSR? Have all three team members involved with the client discussed the problem together to see if you can problem solve as a team? Um, have we looked up help articles and researched them? Have we used Google searches and Chat GPT inquiries and inputted the problem into there when we're talking about problem solving? Has the communication flow been followed with the clients? Has the client, if the client is requesting something simple, if it's not even like a hard problem, have we simply, and they just need communication, have we been following the communication flow and texting them, phone calls with a voicemail left every time? And have we gotten on a Zoom meeting with the client already to see about this? Okay. Like you should have probably already met with the client on a Zoom meeting to try to solve the problem or to handle their question or something, right? Obviously, you don't want to put this off to the point where the client fires us because they cannot meet with me or they don't have access to me. It's just that access to me and booking a meeting with me needs to be like kind of like top of the pile of, my time is very valuable now that we've grown the client base and I've grown my meeting schedule. So it's very important that when we do this, it's because we are doing it as like a last resort, if that makes sense. Okay, so you're always going to do a 30-minute call because generally that's what the client needs. Now here in Calendly, you have the ability, this red consultation meeting, the 30-minute call is what we're going to use. Don't worry about the other ones. The other ones are connected to other things that are automated, so don't mess with those. The consultation, the 30-minute consulting call has a one-time link generator here. You're going to click on that. Okay. And this is where you can actually add the email. It says type name or email addresses. You can actually pre-fill the email address of the meeting for the person we're going to be meeting with them. And then you have to change the duration to 30 minutes. I don't know why. It defaults to 15, so you have to customize it. It's going to be on Zoom. It's already connected to my Zoom account, so that's already integrated. Don't mess with the availability. This is when I can take these calls. Okay, there's about an hour window that I have every day for client calls that I reserve, or for consulting basically, where people can actually buy my time or have consulting meetings with me. Okay. And as that changes and as that grows or something, sometimes I change this, but it's based on my own availability, and I will change this. Do not change this. Okay, right now it's kind of tight. Sometimes it's a lot more. Sometimes I'm available for several hours a day. Sometimes I'm available on weekends. Sometimes I'm not available on weekends. It actually changes on a fairly regular basis. So that's up to me though. So don't mess with that. It is what it is. You're going to create and copy the link. Okay. Save and copy the link. Now you have a link that you can use to send to the client which is a one-time use link. Once they book a call using this link, that's it. They can't like use it again, basically. All right, and that's important because what happens sometimes is people want to then book calls with me whenever they want to. Okay, because now they have my meeting link. So generally speaking, I need to be very particular about how I guard my time. Okay, the other thing, sometimes clients will ask like, well, can you guys just like give me Chris's phone number or something, or give me Chris's cell phone number? Just explain to them that you can give them my number. It's going to be our virtual office number. Don't tell them that though. Just say, hey, this number is Chris's number. It's just that sometimes he can't answer it. And so it gets routed to somebody who can answer it. Don't tell them it's a Google Voice account. That's unprofessional. It's unprofessional to talk about what kind of software we use, how we handle clients, what our processes are. Don't do that. Don't discuss how we do any of this stuff, okay? It's important that you just tell them, yes, you can have Chris's number. This is the number. You're actually saying yes to the client, the 970-235-0896. Just so you know, it's a shared virtual line. So like if Chris can't answer it, it gets routed to a team member, you know, and you can text it. And if Chris doesn't see the text, a team member sees it and responds. Because just having Chris's personal number is not effective, and he doesn't give his personal number out. However, this number is the number you can reach him at. Okay. If people are asking for my personal number, you just have to explain, well, he doesn't give out his personal number because it's not an effective way for him to do business with people. He does actually answer this number sometimes, but if he can't, it gets routed to a team member. Don't tell them how often I do it, or, you know, what's most likely to happen or whatever. In fact, you don't even have to say all the other stuff I said about personal numbers or anything. You can actually just, if they say, hey, can I have Chris's number? You can actually be like, yeah, sure. It's this number here. And, you know, if Chris can't answer, you'll get routed to a team member. Same thing with texting. You can totally text this number. If Chris doesn't answer it back, like a team member will for sure. In the meantime, book a call. And here's the link, you know. So it's very important to understand that, like, for people to access me, it has to be done through these one-time meeting links, pretty much exclusively when they're a current client. Or it's like, you know, somebody like trying to get a hold of me. It's only really for clients, all right, that are either paying for consulting, they've paid for consulting, okay, or they or they're a paying client already. Like they're already a paying client, so basically they've already paid for the consulting call, and they can book one dynamically. And we've already tried to solve their problems or handle them. Another reason for this call, past like having problems, could just be strategy, where I need to meet with the client to just rediscuss their strategy, because sometimes it's beyond the scope of the CSR. The CSR and the lead CSR should be able to do some strategy. You should be able to have some wherewithal to understand how to shift a client sometimes, like their strategy, to make them successful. If what you're already doing is kind of successful, sometimes you can just tweak the strategy. But if for some reason the client needs a whole new strategy, or something is totally broken or something, then they do need to meet with me to discuss strategy, unfortunately. Okay. Anyway, I hope this is helpful and that makes sense as far as generating the one-time link on this red consulting call and using that. Okay. Thanks.